Now we're going to move on to the next part of the evening, which is to give the Business Award from GLOBSEC. And for that, we also have another Prime Minister, former Prime Minister of Hungary, Gordon Bajnai. He is the partner, chairman of the advisory board and global head of infrastructure for Campbell Lutyens. He's a member of the investment committee of the European Fund for Strategic Investment, very, very involved with the International Advisory Board of GLOBSEC as well. So I want to ask my friend Gordon to come up and offer a laudatio for our next award.
I'd like to tell you about a man, about a story, which is probably a very important story for all of us interested in or coming from Central and Eastern Europe. And we have started these business awards, Robert, how many years ago? Probably 3 years ago, yes. And when we did the first one, we said, and sorry, Arkadiy, it's not about a man, it's about a message. So the first message we celebrated, awarded Andreas Treichel, at the time the CEO of Erste Bank, and we said, but there is a message. He was the one who probably did most in the region to create a wide and stable middle class, which is the basis of any democracy. But back to the business awards. This year we are going to celebrate something different. This year's award is about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship out of this region. And when I think about an entrepreneur, I think the easiest definition of who is an entrepreneur, it is someone who does something out of nothing. And that's what we are going to celebrate tonight, and that should be a message to the whole of the region. Every business award, every award given is usually not qualified by those who give the award, but those who receive it. So we are always very careful to pick the right person to give a strong message. So we chose a person who, at a very young age, just beyond 30, immediately after the Soviet Union collapsed, decided to move to the United States. Moved to the United States in 1993, arrived with very little money. He said that he ran out of money after buying his first used car, with a small child to take care of. He didn't speak English well. He understood, he could read English, but he didn't understand really, especially American English. He spent the first 4 months dishwashing in restaurants and sending out job interviews, 400 job applications in those years, in those months, until somebody, very American story, took him without a proper knowledge of English and offered him a job. So that's how he started in 1993. And he was considered to be a crazy guy coming from then Belarusia, post-Soviet Belarusia, going around and saying he has a vision that Belarusia is the place in the former Soviet Union where there was a concentration of engineers and software experts who can do miracle things. And let me put some parentheses here for policymakers, Mr. Prime Minister, and your government members here. Think about how the heritage of the Soviet Union, the engineering and software knowledge, was concentrated in one small area in the country. So when we think about education today, when we think about creating clusters, or when we talk about the Danube Tech Valley, which is the latest initiative of GLOBSEC, and I understand Slovakia and maybe other countries in the region soon, we are trying to recreate that cluster, that knowledge base that can elevate this region out of being the cheap labor source. But going back to the story of a man, the entrepreneur, who in 1993 started a company with 3 employees, one in the United States, if I understand correctly, and the rest in Minsk. And then I cut the rest of the story short. EPAM Systems today is present in 35 countries. It has close to 50,000 employees. About 30,000 is in the broader Central and Eastern Europe. It has annual revenues of $2.3 billion, and its market cap, if I looked at the last page of Yahoo Finance, it was around $33 billion. Creating something out of nothing. What could be a better example of entrepreneurship? So I think there is a message in this award today, not just about the man himself, who we are going to give this heavy piece of glass in a minute, but that it is possible to create something out of nothing. You could say that Arkadiy Dobkin lived the American dream. But I remember in 1990, when the wall collapsed, my generation believed that this is the Central Eastern European dream, that we can do something out of nothing, that we can be better than those in the West, we can be faster, we can accelerate and get there or even overtake them. That was the Central Eastern European dream, and 30 years later, many of us are a bit more worn, a bit more old and need glasses, and quite a few of us are quite skeptical about this dream. But that is why awards are needed. That is why we need to celebrate lifetime achievements, and this is why I'd like to ask Arkadiy Dobkin to come to this stage, take the award, and tell us how he's made it.
Thank you very much. I think everything should go in turn. So it was a funny message, and serious message should be funny now again, right? And I'm just so much impressed how well prepared Gordon. I don't think I shared this with you, or at least in these details, because it seems like it was good preparation there. As usual with some mistakes, but that's fine. I'm really, on a serious note, I'm very honored and humble. Because, as you know, in life, everything coming with a lot of luck, and I was a very lucky guy. Because it's happened to be that I was in my early 30s or late 20s when Gorbachev came. And that was a turning point for everything, and suddenly you understand that you can do something different. And I was forced out of my country by my family because they thought that the window is 1 month, and if you're not leaving, and I actually left in '91, right after the putsch, if you remember what was it. And so I was lucky because I was a product of Soviet Union educational system, which has good sides, which is like my engineering background, and happened to me very good sides because I had no idea how to speak in English, which means that in America nobody was going to employ me, and I had to start the company. And also I very quickly understand, and that's important for this forum, which again I had no idea happening until Gordon contacted me several weeks ago. Back then I realized that talent is really global, and I knew so many smart people from my university, from my first software company, which I started back in Belarus, right when it was possible. And I thought, how come it would be possible to connect? And remember, 92, 93, no internet available. So it was just a crazy idea when I called my school friend and said, let's do it. He was number 10 in the list. Everybody else told me that I'm crazy. And all we wanted to prove that actually the talent, which we know at this point from Belarus, would be able to help doing something good for the world and actually accepted as a people with talent and abilities. And then it happens that we become relatively visible in Belarus, And then I was looking how to grow and compete with global companies, and was trying to do some acquisitions with our own peanuts money. And the only company which agreed to do it with us was a company in Hungary in 2004. And we become the company which kind of switched broken English/Russian to components of Hungarian accent. So I was lucky also that in 2012, when we already had 7,000 people, and Ukraine and Russia and Hungary, Budapest was our European connection. We had no idea what is IPO, but we did IPO in New York Stock Exchange with one lawyer in States and 2 finance people. If I knew that it shouldn't be possible, we never would be doing this, and it was very bad IPO. Because it was strange company with strange accent and everything, but then we were quarter after quarter, we were proving that we can work, and 10 years later, this is where we are. And Gordon mentioned 2.3, it's actually 2.6 last year, and this year it would be 3.6 at least. And the whole point that we were proving each time that if you hungry enough and humble and people smart, and this is from one of the business book, but it's really simple categorization what should be there. Without hungriness, nothing happens. You need to want to make happen. Don't be serious about it. And now we're one of the top global companies in our world. Now Accenture and Deloitte and IBM watching us very, very careful, because we are the fastest growing software technology services company in the world. And we have actually 40,000 people across Eastern Central Europe. About 10 actually across Hungary, Poland, Romania, Czech Republic. We just started in Slovakia several months ago. Bulgaria, and I probably missed something. And clearly we're still in our roots, and we really American company with 5% of our people in America, with 60% of business there, but we're serving practically everybody. And we're proving to the world that the talent from here can do anything, and company from here can do anything. And I think there are a lot of companies which really was using us as a aspiration, and I hope that it would be happening, and I hope that we still will be aspiration. And again, thank you very much for inviting me here. So we unknown, very unknown company, even like Steven trying to, I cannot change to jeans right now, but take a tie, okay. Thank you very much, and really appreciate it. Thank you.